Hello everyone, today I will be showing you how to draw a Minecraft creeper face. Now here is the current image I have up, and I am at Adobe Photoshop. Now that does cost money, so if you don't have Adobe Photoshop or can't afford it, then you can't really watch, well, you can watch this video. I would be happy if you still watch it, but you won't be able to follow along with how to create this creeper face. So this is a Minecraft creeper face. We have his two eyes, and his mouth. Now you may be thinking, this looks really cool, but I don't want to have to draw all this whole entire face and draw all the eyes and mouth all the way. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, that makes sense. You have to draw this, and you probably drew the face, right? I actually didn't draw the background or the face. I drew the eyes, yes, the mouth, and yes, shaded them in, but I did not draw the background, actually. I used a simple technique, which I'm going to show you now. So first thing you're going to do is that you're going to be at the home page. Now, I like to use a specific type of interface or like project to use. So what you're going to want to do is go to New File, go to Web type large, and you're going to want to make sure your width is 1920, height is 1080, and then resolution is 72 pixels per inch. Pixels per centimeter could work, but in this case, pixels per inch is actually better, because this is more for like pixel art, and this is not a pixel art type of picture or painting. Pixels is also required for this, and instead of doing inches or centimeters or millimeters, everything's going to be pixels. Your color mode should be RGB color. 8-bit is fine. A white background is fine. And now we pick create. And here is our background. So the first thing we're going to do is actually create the green face of the creeper. Now what we could do is just simply do this and just color this in. But you can see that takes a long time. Even if I increase the painting bar, yes, it paints more, but this is going to take a long time. And what if I miss any white splotches? Then I have to, go back and go back, and oh, look, I missed a white splotch. Here we go. Now, what you're going to want to do is hit Control Z if you are copying exactly what I'm doing, because that is not the way to actually create the creeper face green, or the green creeper face. On your left side, sorry, it took me a minute to think, you have all these tools at your command. Or not at your command, but that you can use. This is the paintbrush tool. It looks like a paintbrush. You can choose a pencil, a color replacement tool, a mixer brush tool, or the brush tool. Now, the brush tool is the most useful and is actually the most commonly used when it comes to drawing pictures. I actually usually use the brush tool when it comes to drawing in little bits and pieces of a drawing. What you're going to want to do is go down 1, 2, 3, 4 icons down. So with the brush, the stamp tool, the history brush, the eraser tool, and hit this paint bucket. Now your paint bucket tool is actually going to look like this if you first start Photoshop. This is called the gradient tool. We're not going to use this for this tutorial. What we will use is not even the 3D material drop tool, but the paint bucket tool. It is the middle icon, and you click on that, and there you go. Now what we're going to want to do is make sure that and now you're going to want to come down and see these two squares. This is black. So our current color that we are painting with is black. You see, if I pick the paintbrush, it's black. Hit Control Z, and it deletes it. But if we flip this around, now if I paint, since the top square is green, now I can draw fully green circles or fully green colors of shapes or sizes or whatever. Hit Control Z. Sometimes you have to do it twice or multiple times, which is okay. But we are going to use the paint bucket tool again and simply left click. Make sure your square is green. And if you don't know how to change your square, look at the black here. You can just simply just drag it. So here is the color on your right side. This is a color bar. And what you're going to want to do is scroll down to where you see green and then use a great amount of color. You can, of course, change this a little to make it more realistic and do that. But we're going to need black, so we can literally just scroll this down all the way toward the left bottom edge to make it black. Anyways, enough about the colors. Now we have to actually paint the background. So use the paint bucket tool, make sure it's selected, make sure your top square is green, and simply left click. And that's all, and that's it. That's how you create the paint face. People, if you want to, you could technically draw it in, but again, white splotches, you might miss some places you didn't color in, and you might even not fully color in this whole square. See how perfectly colored this artboard is now? If you were to paint it, you would probably miss spots and probably wouldn't fully be able to paint this and make it look the way it looks right now. Now we're going to go back to the paintbrush and use this arrow. This is called, it should say switch foreground and background colors, X. And this just simply switches out all colors. We're going to click it until it shows black. And we're going to change the brush size in the top left. And we're going to change it to, I want to make it semi-big, but not too big. Let's say about 30. 31 is fine. And we're going to create a new layer. Now, what is a layer, you may ask? A layer is basically a way to color or to draw something without messing up the whole entire drawing. You might be thinking, wait, wouldn't it just be easier if we just colored in the eyes and the mouth inside the first layer? And this is what your first layer is. On the bottom right, you'll see an artboard 1, which is your artboard, and then layer 1, which is your layer. The artboard and layer 1 are both the same. It doesn't matter what you do to artboard 1. If you were to color this yellow, then layer 1 would pop up and it'd show yellow. If you were to do a layer 1 and add yellow, and click on artboard, as you see I'm doing right here, you would see that it's still yellow. Anyways, so we could color this in, but watch what happens when I need to erase. Let's say, oh, I messed up, and and we could hit Control Z, yes, but some people like to erase a little. Well, look what's happening. While I'm erasing, it's erasing not only the eye that I messed up, but also the green background. Hit Control Z, and hit Control Z again. And we could technically do this, but if we mess up at all, it ruins the whole entire drawing. And one of the cons, well, not really con, but one of the things Photoshop does is that after you draw a certain amount, you can't erase anymore. So let's say you draw 50 times on this artboard, and you mess up 50 times. Let's say you draw the eyes and mouth, but you accidentally have a couple splotches or colors that don't mix well together. So you now have drawn 50 times. You can erase 5 or 10 of those times, but the other 40 times you already messed up, you cannot erase. So you can erase what currently was messed up, like again 5 or 10 times, but then after that, you literally lose the chance to delete anything else, and now your artboard will look ugly. So we're going to go to Layer on the top right here. It's the fourth one after File, Edit, Image, and after the Photoshop icon. Go to Layer, select New, which is the very top bar. Select Layer, and then we're going to call this Creeper, and you can call it what I'm calling it if you're following along with this tutorial. Creeper I1. Now this could be the left or right eye, it's up to you. I'm going to make it the left eye. Press OK. And now if we mess up, watch what happens. See? Now our artboard is not being messed up. And if we hit Control Z, again, if we still mess up 50 times, yes, we messed it up, we mess up the whole drawing. We can just simply erase the mess ups and we would still have this green background. So now it's time to draw the eyes. Now, you want to go as straight of a line as you can. You see I messed up there. Control Z, or erase, but Control Z just deletes whatever you messed up, and it's easier. That way, I use Control Z a lot when I mess up, but don't use it too often. Don't spam click it, because you only need to click it press it once, and it will delete the one accident. If you spam click it, you're going to delete a lot more than what you intended, and you're going to mess up your whole drawing, or we'll have to redo your whole drawing. So now we're going to draw a straight square, and there's two ways we can do this. I'm going to show you one way. Now we have one layer, and the way we can do this is drawing this. We can literally just draw this in with our brush tool, which is what we're currently doing. So not only do we outline with our brush tool, we also paint in with our brush tool. But see, I'm missing splotches, which is okay. We can mostly color these in. And you have to be careful. You see how I'm lightly clicking the mouse and lightly moving my mouse. I'm not clicking like this, because if I do that, then that messes up the whole thing. Press Ctrl Z, and there we go. But there's another way to do this. First of all, we need to create another layer. So go to Layer again, New, Layer, and go to Creeper Eye 2. You don't have to, oh, by the way, you don't have to click anything here. Color none, mode normal, opacity 100. You don't have to check mark any of these two boxes. Just press OK, and it creates another layer. Now, we just simply draw another square. Now, we could just color this in like we did with this one, but the more easier technique is to use our paint bucket tool, go inside the eye, or inside our outline, left click, and there it is. Yes, there's a little bit of screen splotches, sometimes this happens, but then you have to color it in, but most times you actually, but most times when you do this, it will just paint the whole entire eye and you won't have to do anything. Now let's do the mouth. The mouth is not going to look pretty. In fact, I'm going to make sure it does look good, so you copied my same result. And then we're just going to color in, outline the mouth. You see I messed up there, that's fine. Sometimes you can't make everything perfect. I mean, if you were to do this for class, you would have to make it as good as you can. Not as good as you can, but make it look, you would have to clean this up. But since this isn't a class and just a tutorial, you technically don't have to clean this up if you don't want to. If you got straight lines for everything, then good for you. Now we press the paint bucket again and click this. See? It acted weird. And I actually messed up. You see I'm on Creeper Eye 2. What I need to do is create another new layer, call it Creeper Mouth 1. And in another tutorial, I'll explain why I'm numbering everything too. I mean, you can kind of see it here. Creeper Eye 1, Creeper Eye 2, it's so that way it can differentiate between which eye is which, and what, if in case I want to make modifications, or I need to fix something later. Creeper Mouth 1. So we just draw this simple mouth. I'm going to make it very small, but you can make yours big, as I've shown in my other artboard or other painting. I'm just making it small, just for easier technique. We go to the painted tool, left click, and most of the time it's supposed to color in everything. Okay, that's what happened. You have to sometimes click on the outlines that are still showing, and now everything is black for the mouth. And yes, it doesn't look exactly like this. You will get a different result. Yours may look better than mine, or yours may look just like this, or yours may look a bit different. But either way, you should have a result either like this, if you made the mouth big, or even if you made everything a bit small, when it comes to the eyes or mouth, you should get a result like this. Now, Photoshop is a very nice tool, but it can be complicated and scary for beginners. So that's why I created this tutorial. Not just to help you learn how to draw Minecraft art, but also to help you learn how to, start Photoshop if you're beginning and you want to draw something, or you need to draw something for an assignment for class or school. So that is why I drew this, and that is why I did this tutorial. I also thought it'd be fun. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy this tutorial for how to draw a creeper face, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and comment down below on the video, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.